goes to 11. So it's a surprise. You're watching Allastrology. We are going to talk about the week of January 13th. January 13th and the following 7 days. Yeah. So this is the week right before the inauguration, right? For the new president of the United States. And we talked on last week's video for the week of. We talked about the difference of the different energy. This is about new and different, and Pluto brings the power to new and different. Pluto gives the power to group energy, right? This is altruistic energy. It's best used in an altruistic way, which is this is about civil liberties, civil rights. This is about looking out for your fellow human. This is about doing something to help humanity. How can we progress? How can we better our world, better our lives, better the planet using technology, right? And it's inventions. Yeah, inventions. Okay. So backing this up now, we see we got this big star. I know this star as the Solomon star. Some of you may have different names for it. That's fine. Call it whatever the hell you want. 2 grand trines in the chart. You see 27 degrees. You see water. You see where I've got that point right there. We've got Neptune. We have Mars at 27 degrees. This kicks off the week, right? Mars was at 29, moving to 27. Not a super fast mover. Even the moon is in water at this time at the beginning of the week. Then you go to the other water, and look, we got Juno here at 22. It's not at 27, but Juno's moving forward. Venus will start to come into the picture. Saturn's going to move, so does Nessus, but Venus is the faster mover of those guys, okay? And then Juno, right? Venus is catching up to Juno at that point. So it's like for this week, we're going to feel the effects of a Neptune, Mars, and Juno trine. And water energy, so the history, the past, we think of Pisces, which is like public figures, right? We think of healing and unity and oneness and understanding and forgiveness, Pisces energy. And then we think of the public and homes and family and women energy, right? Because we've got Cancer energy with Mars there. And then you think of Scorpio energy, which is our bond, our shared energy, what we value together, you and me, right? A one-on-one kind of energy, like partnerships and marriage. And Juno's there, right? Definitely partnerships. We are deeply bonded. We are bonded by blood even, right? Can be very feisty energy. Remember, Pluto and Mars rule Scorpio. Why would that matter? Well, when you know where Pluto and Mars are, you understand the bigger picture. Pluto's in new and different. New and different. Shocks and surprises, possibly, right? So we can think unions, but it's group energy. We think of technology, of course, airlines. We're hearing a lot of things about certain airlines or makers of, technology that has wings, whether it's NASA or whatever. Boeing, of course. We have some other individuals, public figures who we can think of who may be abusing their power, because we think of internet and online and social media, because there's a lot of air in this chart. And with this other trine, the first one's in water, right? Well, look at the other one, Earth, so we go down into the Earth energy, and we're looking at 22, 23, 24 degrees, 25 and 26 even, right? Uranus, Hera, and Elgo. Elgo, not so great, usually kind of on the malefic side, right? Hera, feminine energy, Greek goddess energy, all about equality and fairness in relationships and rights. Feminine energy. Where are my equal rights, damn it? It's in Taurus. Values, banking, my vote, whatever my values are as a female, me having equal rights. And then Uranus, individuality, but also medicine possibly. And then there's the authority of my own damn values, the authority of my own rights. This can also be like Jerome Powell, someone who is head of the Fed, right? Because it's an authority figure. And then we have, and remember, they're clumped together. So when they're clumped together, the bandwidth is going to be the orb, we'll call it, I said the bandwidth, the orb is going to be larger. We got the South Node in Virgo. Virgo, South Node is basically what we've already done, what we've already mastered. It's something that has to do with the past. So we think of the details, the minutia, the critical eye. We think of connecting the dots. We think of how can I make this better? Our South Node is like, we know how we can make it better, right? And we're trying to incorporate some of those details, especially day-to-day routines and jobs and the job market and the service industry, right? The South Node, we know how to do this. 29 is an authority figure, but usually extreme energy, a public figure, super wealthy normally, a release and a let go. Something that's, it's real logical. It's a really logical release, but this could be some service industry jobs, possibly a boss in some of those service industry jobs. Remember, 29 degree, the millionaire degree. Okay. So that's part of this. And then we go over to the other part. Ooh, what do we got at 21, 22, 23, 24, 25? We got a lot going on in Capricorn, don't we? Yeah. Capricorn energy, the sun moves 1 degree a day. So it's only at 23, but it moves 1 degree a day. So this trine with the earth energy is strong all week. It's getting stronger with the earth trine. Capricorn, the order, the structure, the rules. I'm also an authority figure, by the way. Let's not forget about Mars, because Mars is at the opposition of Capricorn. It's in Cancer, right? Yeah. We also have Persephone, someone who feels alone. Someone who feels alone, someone who's isolated, someone who is in a place they're not used to being, possibly a new job. Persephone and Capricorn, possibly as I'm the boss now. I am the CEO. We have the sun and Persephone together. Persephone's feminine energy. Yes, absolutely. Masculine Capricorn, because I'm the head boss. I'm even possibly the father figure or the authority figure. What I say goes, right? The sun is here, so it's strong with long-term financial goals and stability. We think corporations. We even have smart Pallas Athena here, lots of feminine energy still in Capricorn. Even Mercury is here. So let's back this up and you can get a good look where you can see that strong earth trine, right? And how this trine is going to get stronger as this week goes on, because the node sits there at 29. Even though it's a retrograde, it moves slow. This is going to go higher in numbers. Persephone's already at 25, right? These three together are slow and powerful, and pretty much we can definitely say that they're touching the 29. But what about Sedna? Sedna's at 0 in Gemini. So she creates an out of sign trine with this earth energy, which is why the mention about, social media and news and the markets and, stock market and interest rates and the housing market interest rates. I know I mentioned, but the housing market, like, this is why this is relevant. Okay. Sedna is more feminine energy, by the way, but she is also part that's considered an out of sign trine. She's an out of sign trine to Virgo energy, you see, because that's at 29. Okay. So we back it up again. And we're going to include Sedna for sure, because as the week goes on, the sun's going to get to 29 degrees in Capricorn, and then it's going to get to 0 degrees, and it'll be trining, right? When the sun gets to the beginning of Aquarius season, then we have this strong trine where the sun at 29 degrees of Capricorn and now 0 degrees of Aquarius, a super strong trine with Sedna. Okay. So thinking, thoughts, communication, business, inventive, opportunistic, unconventional, different, new, a promise of growth and progress is Aquarius energy. It says, out with the old, in with the new. However, there might be a little bit of the old included because the ancient ruler of Aquarius is Saturn. It's not just Uranus. We always got to remember Saturn, the rules, the order, the structure. If it works for the long term sustainability to create security, material, financial, tangible security, that's the goal of Saturn. We have to be willing to push ourselves to those uncomfortable spaces, right? We have to be willing to do that. So, this is the strong Solomon's star. Very strong this week. And it's held up by a lot of very powerful points. It's not like, the small personal planets that are moving fast, speaking of which, so here we have Mercury. And Mercury's in Capricorn. Mercury is mature in Capricorn, okay? It's goat energy, right? When you have goat energy, you're thinking of the long haul and you're climbing, you're building, you're not racing. You're like steady wins the race, steady and stable, reliable, consistent. I'm doing my homework. I'm doing it according to the rules. I'm checking off the boxes. We don't want to take shortcuts, right? This is Capricorn energy, okay? And Mercury's in Capricorn this whole week. She's going to stay here. Mercury gets to 18 degrees in Cappy. All right, so there's Mercury. She gets to 18. So at the end of the week, she'll be conjunct Pallas Athena. They'll both be at 18. And that's on Monday. That's on Inauguration Day. On Monday, the sun will be at 1 degrees and 28 minutes with Pluto on Inauguration Day. Yeah. Friday, Saturdays when Aquarius season begins, because it moves pretty fast, right? And then Venus, I said she's going to be moving forward. She is. And she also gets to 17 degrees by the end of the week. So what's really, really interesting is Venus and Mercury, they're not in the same signs, but remember, they're always talking. And they're roughly covering some of the same degrees. Mercury moves a lot faster than Venus. And so Mercury's going to move 10 degrees. She'll get to 17. And by the end of the week, Mercury and Venus will both be at 17/18 degrees. And that's sextile energy. So they're talking, they're communicating. Diplomatic energy? No, but it's more public figure, presidential energy, Hollywood. I'm in the spotlight. There's a performance. Anytime we talk about people in politics, which this is usually, presidential energy. And when we have these big to-dos, an inauguration, it's a show, right? It's a ceremony, but it's a presidential ceremony. There's music, there's different speakers, there's a lot of pomp and circumstance, there's uniformed people present. Like, it's a very official, presidential, very much Pisces energy, because it kind of just looks like a show, right? Well, it is. Venus will then be conjunct Nessus. That gives me concern. That gives me some pause and concern. Nessus is usually out for revenge. That's the teaching. It's Nessus and Pisces out for revenge. So 17 degrees. Let me double check. Yeah, 17 is Leo degree. So we think of childish behavior, possibly conversations, communications, pretend. Hopefully it means a bunch of laughter and joy and celebration, even though it's a very serious time. But Nessus at 17, we, there might be some ego energy for sure and very prideful energy. We'll probably hear about some of it. Venus will be conjunct that energy. So we'll see how that looks, and we'll see who demonstrates who demonstrates that type of energy. We'll hear about it because remember, Venus and Mercury will be talking. They'll be communicating. They're siblings, and Venus talks to Mercury, Mercury talks to Venus, and Mercury is literally the news. Different and new is on the menu. Never been done before is on the menu. Pluto gives power to the Aquarius season. This is an Aquarius season that begins in a big way because it's the sun and Pluto together. Now, what about freaking Mars? Mars is in the backstory here for this week. Remember, it only moves a few degrees. It only goes to 24. But from this week, Monday, all the way to Friday, there is a very strong opposition, with the sun and Mars. Very strong opposition. So that puts Mars at the opposite end of the sun. And Mars is a soldier. And normally with that opposition, the sun is the head person in charge. The sun is the person that gives the order. And Mars is the person that takes the orders. All right. So this gives Mars something to focus on and something to do, right? Because Mars is in direct contact with the boss. And the boss is saying, and this isn't like a pretend boss. This isn't like I'm on the internet and I'm on my social medias and I'm telling you what to do. No, I'm talking about a real boss. Mars in connection with the sun, Mars is taking orders this week. But like I said, the surprise and expect the unexpected energy of Aquarius and this Venus conjunct Nessus, I don't see anything else that's horrible other than, of course, and horrible is probably not the right word, but you've got a big event when the North Node, what our future is about and where we're headed, what we're working towards. It's a big deal when it's a North Node in Pisces. The Pisces does definitely represent, a closure, a completion, and an ending. And it's at 29 degrees. So there is this very powerful push, an energetic push, whether we want it or not. It's there. And it's changing the way we look, like the appearance, because remember, these are actors. So this North Node, a powerful person, a public figure, and a new costume, a new face. It's a North Node. It's a new beginning. This is where we're headed. Remember, Pisces is a completion, but it can also bring about unity and understanding. Unity and understanding. The other piece of this is that at 29, this North Node is technically conjunct Neptune. So it's like a really big ending to something or someone. Well, 29, remember, a person in charge. So sure, the old president leaves. We know that, right? We know there's, head person in charge is going out and there's a new one coming in. Okay, mix in the 27 degrees energy. 27 degrees is, think Mercury, think Gemini, right? Mercury and Gemini energy. So a good communicator possibly. For me, it's like a combination of this ending and this closure of a person who we weren't really sure who they were. There might have been confusion about who that person was, right? That would make sense. It's Neptune, it's Pisces, confusion. But then the mixture with the 27 degrees and this new beginning, this way forward, this new leader, this new face, this new role, Pisces, this new role is a communicator. Because Jupiter, here's the other last little nugget. This Jupiter's at 12 this week. It is retrograding. It is in Gemini. Now, remember, I mentioned Gemini energy already over here, right? The Neptune at 27, that's Gemini energy. So this Jupiter moves this week. By Tuesday, this Jupiter goes from 12, like Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, there it is. It would be Tuesday because here it's at 12:03 going backwards. So when we get to Tuesday, oh, there it is. When we get to Tuesday, it goes to 11. So it's a surprise. It's a surprise with an authority figure. Now, let's be clear. This authority figure doesn't just have to be the United States because it's Jupiter energy. Okay. So when we think of Jupiter energy, we just got to remember that that's also foreigners, foreign lands, foreign languages. That's Jupiter, somebody across the pond. But it's also judges and the judicial system and the Supreme Court. We think juries and courtrooms and judgments and opinions, right? That's also Jupiter. So possibly a judicial surprise. That's a possibility. But this also holds justice energy because Jupiter is a co-ruler of Pisces. So that may also be part of this story for this week. With that said, this pretty much wraps up this week. This pretty much wraps it up. It's a little bit of a lot can happen this week because anytime you mix earth and water together, remember, we've got the grand earth trine in the chart. And then we've got a grand water trine in the chart. So when you mix a grand water trine with a grand earth trine, shit's happening, whether you like it or not. The universes come in and the energy lines up. And when trines are there, it easily happens. It just does. So that's it. It's a wrap. I appreciate your time and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.